So as we're getting closer and closer here right now, and you can really see your body starts to change, right? This is where we naturally start thinking about, okay, I really want to start building on and starting that building phase to, pack some extra muscle mass on. And I totally understand. The natural approach is just to go really hard and then just go hard on the diet. Time to eat more, right? Time to fill on the tank and time to bulk up, right? Time to gain. And that's been an approach that's been used for many, many years and well known in the whole bodybuilding and fitness space is bulk season and then cut season. It's time for me to go on a bulk diet and now it's time for me to cut again. And you can see the way I'm holding my hands, it's kind of like it's very much apart from each other, right? And the whole purpose with that old approach is that you're packing on, you're gaining muscle mass, and then when it's time for you to go on stage or it's time for you to shred for the summer season, you're now peeling off the fat again. But research and study actually shown that by you gaining that extra amount of weight, which is a lot of times were stored and put on in fat, didn't actually give you that much more of an increase in muscle mass, right? Than if you went less kilo packed on, but more lean, right? The only difference was that you didn't look like a balloon for 6 or 4 or 5 months, right? You actually had an aesthetic and a lean look, right? And by doing that, you didn't have as much work to do to get back into the summer shape and the lean shape. And by doing that, you didn't run the risk of actually burning all the muscles that you just put on in the bull season. So what I want to sort of explain for you here right now is the new way of doing it. And the new way of doing it when we are going together here right now and we're shifting more and more over to like, okay, I've got down to a good lean shape right now. I got down to a foundation where, okay, I'm ready to go ahead and start packing on right now. And again, it's a longer process, right? It's a longer process and it takes time. But the thing I want you to think about here right now, I want you to not think about cut or bulk anymore. I want you to think about the middle. I want you to think about the middle, what we're calling lean gains, right? And lean gains basically comes down to that we are putting ourselves in the middle in the terms of the calories that we're consuming, that we are not really like, we're close to the maintenance. We're not really losing weight. We're not really gaining a lot of weight, but we're just enough on the other side to we actually are in a calorie surplus, right? And by doing that, you are, again, a study shown is that you're packing on just enough and just the right amount of muscle mass to not putting enough fat on, and basically in the same rate as you would do if you just went all out with your calories, which was basically just packing on more fat than muscle, right? So you're putting yourself in just enough calorie surplus to actually packing on muscle mass, but at the same time, you're keeping it as close as possible to the maintenance level, which basically meant that the extra muscle mass you packed on with your body, now your resting metabolism also came up and you started to lean out slowly, because that's what happens, right? As we talked about, the more muscle mass you put on your body, the higher your resting metabolism becomes, and the easier and the leaner you actually becomes, the more calories your body and your muscles are burning, right? So that's basically the approach I want you to think about here right now, is that don't think about, I'm just gonna pack on right now, I'm just gonna get stronger, like, oh. Think about, you wanna look sexy, you wanna look lean, you wanna look sharp most of the times all year round. I'm walking around with a six-pack all year round because I placed myself in just below and just over my maintenance level. And by doing that, I can simply just control, okay, what's the time for it right now? Is it time for me to pack on, right? Changing up in the workout routines and stuff, or is it time for me to lean up, change up in the workout routines, and simply just move the needle a little bit down so I'm eating slightly a little bit less. And by doing that, you're not running the risk of burning your muscles, and by doing that, you're simply just controlling and letting your body lean you out naturally. And that's where you're getting that beautiful, beautiful look, this beautiful aesthetic beach look, right? Because you're just staying within a range all year round that it's easy for you to pack on muscle, and it's easy for you to quickly get into good shape within 4 to 6 weeks, right? You're down again, you can see your six pack, you can see the obliques down the sides and these sort of things. And you know, happy days, right? Because why spend 3 months going in a complete opposite direction to basically have to go 3 to 6 months all the way back again, and with a little to minimum gain of muscle mass over here, right? So that's the new approach. The new way of doing is to focus on lean gains and focus on laying your carbs, your calories, and your macros right above your maintenance levels. So you're doing calorie surplus, going the opposite way, you're just slightly going into the calorie deficit. And by doing that, I promise you will have that legendary lean look all year round.